A leading arms trafficking terrorist organization found executed. Possession of over 100 munition, missiles, and...
That airliner was his first target.
How did Shahid get his hands on that missile?
He's got more, then we want you to kill him.
Alpha Protocol's been in development for quite some time now. But you got to see the game at GDC.
Yes.
And
again, I've seen it a few times now.
Oh, well. But can you just give a quick introduction to the people who managed to miss what Alpha
Well, it's the, what can you say, modern day espionage RPG, starring an agent called Michael Thorton, and he's been betrayed, so he uses the Alpha Protocol, which is sort of a backup plan for an agent who's, you know, on his own. And it's, you know, it's always problematic when a game takes this long, because you don't really know what's going on. Is it, you know, have they taken too much on themselves? Will they be able to pull it off? But basically what I was told at GDC was that the game was finished last fall, but Sega made a decision to delay it for business reasons. They didn't feel that they could launch it last fall and put it onto the market and have a successful product. So it's coming out in June now, early June or late May for the Americans out there. And basically they spent this time polishing the game. So, and it did look way better than at E3 when I saw it now at GDC. And they showed off some stuff that had my interest for the game peak again, because I wasn't that excited about it before. But they showed off a few story elements and a storytelling device that I thought was very interesting. Essentially, you flash forward to an interrogation in the future, and then the events that you're interrogated about play out, and you can actually play out what sort of answers you want to give that interrogation, and you can basically you can manipulate the future by what you do in the past, and sort of it ties together in a very nice way.
But do you think that's gonna work out? Because well, looking back at Obsidian's career, they've done well games like Knights of the Old Republic 2, for example, or Neverwinter Nights 2, which always had a tendency to be a bit worse than the originals.
Yeah,
Can they stand on their own
It's hard
legs?
to live up to BioWare, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
but
high
still,
standards, but I also felt that the story. I mean, the story in Knights of the Old Republic 2 is great. It's really great, and it's
Sadly
certainly
was a buggy mess when released.
But it's on par with the first one in terms of story, and I think that they will pull the story off in Alpha Protocol. The only thing that I'm worried about is that the shooting is not going to be up to where the standards that we expect. But it looked okay actually in what I saw, and I think it's one of those games that you really need to sit down and take. I think the producer said, like, we really want people to play this through twice before reviewing it, and you know
they'd say that.
Yeah, and that's never going to happen. Game reviewers are lazy bastards. You know, you should be lucky if they play it through once. But they really showed off that the game will be a very different experience depending on how you choose to play it, and there's not just one or two there's not just two choices, but there's a whole spectrum of choices that you can make with different characters and your own progression in the game.
So you're excited again?
I'm optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I think it's certainly something different, and that's reason enough to be excited, in my opinion. So, and it looks pretty good, and it's not your most beautiful game that's going to come out this summer, but it's an RPG, and it does things in other areas where and perhaps I should say that they did show a major twist in the game that we're not really at liberty to divulge any details about, but basically things aren't what they seem.
Ooh.
And that's
unexpected.
It's an espionage game, so that's unexpected.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of references to a company called Halbeck, which pretty similar to Halliburton, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be something like that, and they seem to be selling weapons to people maybe they shouldn't sell weapons to or stuff like that, and it's a conspiracy, so... yeah, Alpha Protocol is looking exciting. I'm excited.
Fair
again.
enough. I'll remain cautiously optimistic, I think. Yeah, I'll let Obsidian, I don't know.
Well,
I'll give them this one as well.
Well, I mean, you know, it's not like they've made poor games.
No, I'm not gonna say
they made good games. It's just that they haven't really eclipsed the originals that they made. So I'm optimistic. Yeah, I'm optimistic about this, and then I would love it if they pulled New Vegas off brilliantly as well.
Absolutely.